Hello and welcome to the sixth Carrom World Cup, happening right here in the beautiful San Francisco Bay Area in California. Today is November 15th, and we are here to witness the amazing lineup of players getting ready to play the singles semifinals on both the men's and women's categories. My name is Bala Parthasarathi. I will be your commentator for this game. And let's take a look at the lineup for the day for the semifinals. So on the women's side, semifinals number one is going to be happening between Preeti Jakotia of USA and Khazima Mahbub Pasha of India. So this is the very first time in the history of the game where anybody from Team USA has made it to the semifinals level in the history of the entire sport. So this is the bracket. You know what happened yesterday in the quarterfinals. The in the first quarterfinals, Rashmi Kumari of India defeated Fatma Trayana of Maldives, and in the second quarterfinals, Mitra Bhaskar of India defeated Roshita Joseph of Sri Lanka, and they will be playing the semifinals number one between Rashmi and Mitra. On the other side, Preeti Jakotia of USA pulled off a huge upset against Nagajoti, the Indian number two player, to reach the semifinals. And in the final quarterfinals of last night, Khazima, who's currently India number three, defeated Aminat Vidat of Maldives to secure her seat in the semifinals. So we are going to be watching. The players are just getting warmed up. On my left is Khazima from India in the blue shirt, and on our right is Preeti Jakotia of USA. Both these players have a lot to prove in this match. And the organizers would like to thank all the sponsors and donors who have proudly supported and sponsored this event. Cinco, our equipment partner, Core Hive, Trinamics, Carrom Central, Agilicis, Verizon, and many more, as well as our media partners, Carrom Pro and Cricket Clubs. And once again, this is the sixth Carrom World Cup happening live in the San Francisco Bay Area, California. And we are watching the women's semifinals number one between Preeti Jakotia of USA and Khazima Mahbub Pasha of India. And they have just started. This is the very first board of a long marathon that we are about to witness. The format of the game will be to play a best of three sets, where each set will be played for 25 full points. There is no board limit or time limit in this match. Therefore, it's not going to be over until one of the players reaches a score of 25. And the players are just getting warmed up. This is just the very first board, and they have not, these days, the ICF rules do not allow players to play a practice board before the actual match begins. So the first few boards the players use to kind of gauge how the board is moving, any slopes or any other vagaries of the board that they may need to adjust or compensate for. Khazima playing whites, and at the moment it looks like the positional advantage is a tad bit in favor of the whites. So this particular coin is a little tricky. A beautiful cut by Khazima. It requires tremendous control to not disturb any other coins while playing that shot. Another fantastic long cut. She made it look simple. She's going. Yeah, that one required an extreme level of finesse. And now the board is reasonably open for Preeti. Interesting choice. That was unfortunate. Perhaps she's taking this kind of a risk because it's a little early in the game. And the first board goes to Khazima with the score of 6 points, as Khazima had covered the queen in this board as well. Let's take a look at some of the highlights of board number 1. And here is that fine cut which required finesse. There we go. So back to board number 2 now. So let's talk a little bit about the players. Khazima Mahbub Pasha, she's currently India ranked number 3. She's also the Federation Cup winner held in 2024. And she's only 17 years old. She's still in college. She's studying BA in Corporate Economics in Chennai. And she has been playing for 11 years. Just doing a quick mental math here. That means that she has been playing since before turning 6. We'll talk a little bit more about both the players. Let's get back to the game. Pretty good break by Preeti. It's a little speed control issue there. And the coins drop shot. That was another beautiful shot by Khazima. And she plays a beautiful defense. It's really important for Khazima to make sure that these two pockets are not blocked, because those are her front pockets. She needs to have a clear line of sight at all times, and it's super important to ensure that those pathways are clear early on in the board when you still have the chance. Otherwise it might become too late to make corrections. And Khazima knows it very well, which is why she smartly cleared that way in her first turn. That's a risk. She opened up the queen for Preeti. That was a little tentative. Nerves or the slope of the board, hard to tell. But queen has been covered by Preeti. And if she wins this board, it should be quite an interesting set to watch. It's only the second board, but as of now, it looks like Khazima's fingers are set a tad bit more than Preeti's. but it's a long way to the finish line, and we are only in the second board of the first set. This should be an interesting shot. Amazing accuracy and control over the striker. And a beautiful finish by Khazima again. And 3 more points to Khazima, extending her lead to 9-0 against Preeti Jakotia in the semi-finals of the 6th Carrom World Cup. We were talking about Khazima earlier, continuing that further. Her dream was to become a national champion one day, and then later on to become a world champion. So her father is her inspiration. I was talking to her earlier, and it was his dream that she would become the women's world champion in Carrom one day, and he got her interested in Carrom very early on in her life. And she hails from the city of Chennai, where the legendary player and coach Mr. Maria Irudayam lives and conducts a Carrom coaching center as well. And he identified her as a potential world champion material about 3 years ago. And he has been coaching her and grooming her for just this day. And so far it looks like his intuition was quite right. Preeti would look to open up the board a little bit and pull some more coins to her base without opening up too many whites. These are high risk, high reward moves, but if it works greatly in your favor. But if it fails, you may end up giving a big board to the opponent. That was an unfortunate miss. Might be the just the opportunity that Preeti was waiting for. She would look to move the whites from the pocket and was unsuccessful in doing so. And right now there is a clear positional advantage for Khazima. Nice controlled press shot. And the queen is open. These 2 coins are the puzzle that she has to unravel. Beautifully done. She has an easy cover, which she takes. And the next coin is easy as well. She would likely keep this in play for a little longer unless she wants to go for the kill already. Nicely done, and she has given herself a finishing opportunity. And Preeti would try to clear a couple of open coins, then think about, it's likely that she might try to play this as a bomb, but I'm not sure if she's going to take that chance right now. Looks like she's going for a cut and release. And this could very well be a finishing turn for Khazima. Extreme control over the striker not to touch that white. That was a big miss. Could have been a big board. And now Preeti has a finish. Although it looks simple, under these high pressure situations, these clear open finishes, the ability to successfully convert those opportunities into successful finishes is what separates the champions from the amateurs. And there we go. And Preeti proving herself as champion material and why she's sitting where she is. And she's on the board now with 1 point. Let's talk about Preeti a little bit. She's originally from India, but she has been settled in the US for many years now. She's representing USA. This is the second time Preeti Jakotia is representing Team USA on the world stage. The first time was in 2022 at the 8th Carrom World Championships held in the city of Langkawi in Malaysia, where Preeti led the women's team to a historic podium finish for Team USA, bagging the silver medal in the team event. But she did lose to to Neelam Godake of India in the pre-quarterfinals, and she lost the opportunity to make it to the semifinals in the women's singles. And this time, she was determined to go all the way. And it clearly looks like she had prepared something different this time, because she pulled off a massive upset last night in the quarterfinals against Nagajyoti of India to secure her seat in the semifinals today. Preeti has been training for this very, very hard. I had an opportunity to have a chat with her today before the match, and I asked her what has been different about her preparation this time compared to the last appearance in the world stage in Malaysia 2 years ago. And she mentioned two specific things. One is more physical about her game, and the other one was mental. On the physical aspect, she said that she has been practicing specifically on a custom-made board which has smaller pockets than the regulation boards to improve her accuracy. And the second thing, mentally, she has been training specifically to not cry over spilt milk. In other words, she does not want to focus on past mistakes and instead learn from them and move on with an eye firmly on the future. And so far in this tournament, both those changes seem to be paying huge dividends for Preeti. She has been putting on a phenomenal show in this tournament so far, and that was a miss from Khazima. And this is a potential finish for Preeti, and if she does, then she can take a huge board and level the playing field in the scoreboard this time. She's trailing by a pretty large margin, and interestingly, she chooses to play defense while there seemed to be an opportunity for a finish, although it was not without risk. Khazima attempted to make the white difficult while defending the queen, and Preeti fails to capitalize on the golden opportunity. This would be a good opportunity for Preeti to test her own mantra of do not cry over spilt milk. That was definitely spilt milk. That was a golden opportunity to cover the queen, which she didn't. And now Khazima could potentially finish the board. After taking this open black, she might cut this and send the striker here to create a finish, which she attempted but did not quite succeed in getting the striker all the way to the other black, but no damage done. She successfully defends the white, and now Preeti most likely would go for the finish. Unsuccessful, and with that the board goes to Khazima with 4 more points. That simple unforced execution error by Preeti on the queen Might prove expensive in the long run because that was a good opportunity for her to even the playing score here. And once again, the organizers would like to thank all the sponsors of this wonderful event. Cinco, the equipment partner and sponsor, Trinamics, Carrom Central, Agilicis, Core Hive, Verizon, Cell Revolution, Sunray, State Bank of India, California, and PNG Jewelers for generously supporting this event to bring this tournament to you. A nice break by Khazima. So after taking the coin, she doesn't have a clean finish, so most likely she might try to release that. Ah, interesting. Beautifully done. You know, top coaches always say the very first turn in a board is the most important. No matter what the opponent does before that, doesn't matter. Once you get the striker, the control is in your hands. And what you do in that first turn determines whether you're going to win the board or lose the board. And all these top players are acutely aware of that unbreakable rule. It's an interesting position. Neither party has a strong advantage in terms of the position. That was a speed control error on Khazima's part. And now Preeti has the opportunity to turn the table a little bit. Not quite capitalized. And so far in this game, I see Khazima showing a little bit more aggression than Preeti. It may be nerves, it may be strategy. And Preeti's gamble appears to have paid off. But that was not exactly ideal for Preeti. She ended up releasing Khazima's blocked white while clearing the coins and reducing her points a little bit. Now it'd be interesting to see what Preeti chooses to do, because whoever touches this incurs the risk of opening up the board for their opponent. Beautiful defense by Preeti. And that was a very uncharacteristic miss on Khazima's part, and Preeti fully capitalizes on the opportunity and finishes the board to reduce this gap on the scoreboard. She has a huge deficit to overcome. Gap of 113 is not ideal for Preeti in a situation like this, high stakes game, semifinals. So she must be feeling a little bit more relieved at this point as she extended that score and reduces the score gap. It's still a big lead, but not as bad as before. With 5 boards done, the score is Preeti 6 and Khazima 13. Still a long way to go. There is no board limit or time limit in the singles format from the quarterfinals onwards. Therefore, It is not over until it's over. Even if one player reaches a score of 24, anything can happen. And it's not the most ideal break. This particular coin of Khazima's is blocking Preeti's ability to place the striker where she wants to create the right position. A nice knocking attempt from Khazima, but unsuccessful. And the board is a little bit messy as of now. It was not a very good opening after that break for either players. Khazima opted to open the pack a little bit, and Preeti is a bomb expert. The shot she just played is called a bomb shot, where the player takes one coin and sends the striker in extremely high speeds around the board to open up the position on the board. And so far we are witnessing quite a few unforced execution errors from both players, more than their normal quota. And I think so far Preeti may be making a little bit more unforced errors than Khazima. And Khazima has clear runway, except for that one coin which he attempted to pocket both. And now Preeti would defend the queen. Beautifully done. And she could attempt to cut this and release the queen. Beautifully done, but missed the black. Preeti has this bomb coin. She could use that to send the coin there and strike her here to release the pathway, which she does. Not quite perfectly executed, but no damage done. Mission accomplished. Now it's all about converting the opportunity into a finish, which she does. Once again, folks, we are coming live to you from the beautiful San Francisco Bay Area in California, USA, where the 6th Carrom World Cup has been happening for the last 5 days. It started on Monday, November 11th, and today is day 5. We are watching the singles semi-finals of the women's division between Khazima Mahbub Basha of India versus Preeti Jakotia of USA, and it's going neck to neck with 6 boards completed. The score is Khazima 13 and Preeti 12. It cannot get any better than this. Both players have a lot to look forward to. They both have come a long way. They both have been working towards this moment for a very, very long time. They are both plenty hungry for the title. And this is both players' first appearance at the semi-finals level of a World Cup. And for those folks who don't know, when something like this happens, when one of the coin, or Carrom men as we call it, flies off of the board, The coin that went out of the board will be brought back into the center circle. And Khazima takes the queen and covers it successfully. Advantage so far in this board. It's a tiny bit in favor of Khazima. She would be looking to convert this, and if she does so, this could be a huge lead. Good opportunity. Both of those are long cuts. Fantastic. And here we go. If she successfully pockets it, Preeti is in trouble. And an amazing finish by Khazima with 8 Carrom men of Preeti's on the board. That should have given her 11 points, extending her lead to 24-12. And folks, joining me in the commentary box here is our resident commentator extraordinaire, Dr. Nilesh Mehta. Hello, Dr. Nilesh. A very good morning to you.
Very good morning, Bala. Very good morning to all the viewers of this 6th Carrom World Cup. As we now head to the finish line and look at this replay by Khazima. She methodically finished that board with a massive 11-point board.
And it couldn't have come at a better time. Just when Preeti was attempting to regain her confidence and she overcame a huge deficit from a lagging score of 1-9, she finally leveled the playing field, so to speak, and then suddenly, just out of the left field, Khazima pulls off this massive board.
Preeti, of course, coming off after a nice win over Nagajyoti last night, and she must have had only a few hours of sleep, Bala, like you as well.
That's right, Doctor. And I was chatting with Preeti earlier today, and she told me that right after the quarterfinals, she went straight to bed. She didn't want to waste a minute of sleep, and rest is a weapon, as they say, for these guys.
Absolutely right. The brain needs the rest so that next morning can come in recharged. And as the position at the moment, the next coin that the queen is sitting here, Bala, and I think Preeti has these 2 coins that she'll have to. This is the time, the middle part of the game. I like to describe a board, the break, the middle part, and then of course the finish, where you have to get those points. So this is that middle part of the board management, and sometimes this is so important and crucial. And see exactly what she did. She wanted to bring the queen to her base and make it easier, because Preeti has to score big. She's trailing by 12 points at the moment, so value of queen increases even more.
That is correct, Doctor. Although I would say, given where Khazima is at, 24, just 1 point away from running away with the whole set, Preeti's focus should be win every board, no matter even if it's by 1 point at a time, because these grand finales are not played for a specific board limit, so it's not over until it's over.
Correct. So this at this moment is irrelevant, folks. The number of boards do not count. And there was a cut attempted by Khazima, and now Preeti will capitalize and play this shot to get the cover. Unfortunately, the queen has to come back.
And Doctor, did you feel that there is a little extra ounce of adrenaline apparent in Preeti's movements? Is she playing a little faster than usual? When she's pushed to the corner, we usually see her coming out roaring.
That's a great question, and I was going to talk about that at some point, because yesterday during Nagajyoti's game, at some point I felt that Preeti's body language was like almost giving up. She was going back towards the chair, hands up in the air. Now, that may be a strategy, but there's a miss um, by Khazima, and now the cover for Preeti Jakotia. Of course, the local girl from the Bay Area. Everybody in the Bay Area absolutely loves her game. Very well supported as well, and why not? And this is a turning shot. No, she was trying to take both.
She was trying to take both. I believe the angle was not quite right for turning, but the angle was perfect for.
Now she's going to try to release this here with this shot, which she does.
Beautifully done. It's not bad. It's a pretty good defense. Preeti doesn't have a clean shot.
Makes that coin difficult for Preeti.
Interestingly, that's not bad, but that does give an opportunity for Khazima to bring that black in front of that. Beautifully takes it.
So this is a relatively difficult coin for Preeti. Rebound with not much room. Now what does Khazima do? She'll play defense, and she does.
Now begins the cat and mouse. Just
That's
wait for the opponent to slip up just once.
Right. And these are the nervous moments. Who will hold? Who will hold their mental frame of
Now,
mind? That is the key.
Just like
And
that, the tables have turned in favor of Khazima.
Maybe Khazima is taking a chance on this cut by Preeti. And she misses. Well, this could be curtains at the moment if Khazima takes these two coins. She needs only 1 point, as you can see from the scoreboard. And that's a miss, Bala.
Huge, huge wasted opportunity.
And Preeti is alive. Preeti is alive and gets 5 points.
Unbelievable. And doctor, since
Moves
you are a
on to
doctor,
17.
given that you are a doctor, let me ask you, was that kind of a miss because of nerves or because of something physical or physiological in the body, or is it all mental? What causes us to miss these simple coins or make those unforced errors at such crucial moments when the stakes are so unbelievably high?
It's a state of mind, and the mind controls your body movement, which eventually controls your grip and your release. So it's almost like a chain reaction from the brain to the fibers of the nerves to the hand and the muscles. So it's a very complicated process. Some people have mastered that. They thrive on pressure, and some crumble under pressure. As we continue to watch, is Preeti going to make a comeback? We haven't seen Preeti do this in the past, but then this opponent is a different one. This is Khazima from India.
That's right, doctor. Khazima has been getting groomed by none other than the Arjuna Award winner, Mr. Maria Iridayam of Chennai, India, who identified her as a potential world champion 3 years ago and has been grooming her and coaching her for this day.
And what a proud moment it must be for Maria himself, who of course has been around for the last several days. And what I have seen, especially what is very gratifying to see, is Maria giving time to people who have been around him and say, hey, Maria sir, can I play one board with you? Hey Maria sir, can you just watch me? And he has obliged almost everyone whenever time permits. And imagine you going to Mumbai and you are in batting in a batting cage, and Sunil Gavaskar walks in and say, "Sir, can you just watch me and just give me some tips?" So these people who are here at this sixth Carrom World Cup, in the audience watching these games, and then see somebody like Maria walk in and give them some tips, it's paisa vasool.
That's absolutely right, doctor. We'll talk a little bit more about that during the break. Now let's get back to the board. So as Dr. Mehta was saying, middle board management is the most important part of the game. That's when carom stops being carom and the game is more akin to chess.
Yes, and you could see that there was a clear-cut chance for a finish for Khazima on the previous board, and now Khazima is also going on a bit of a defense, as you see. She's not going all out.
That's right. With the score of 17 on Preeti's side, it puts her within striking distance. Earlier, when she was only at 13, she had to hit a slam to go for the win. Now, if Preeti takes the queen in any board, Khazima would be very nervous. And there we go, another potential miss. And Preeti has to capitalize on this opportunity. Especially, she has to make sure that Khazima doesn't have the queen.
Now she has this one idea coin here. If she were to really open up this bunch
And that
here,
is
and maybe even potentially release the red if she is going to go all out, because it's a do or die situation almost, isn't it, Bala?
that's right, Doctor. And she is going for it. Beautifully done.
Lovely shot. What a
That's
shot.
an unbelievable shot by Preeti.
And is this a pair? That is the question. If she puts the striker here, is this going here? That is the question. Because if it is, then you are talking about a 4 plus 3, 7. But no, defense prevails.
Defense prevails. I would have expected her to release this cluster on the way back. And that tentativeness, strategically, if that is the best move,
Now she's going to go for another defense, Bala.
that is.
I'm a bit puzzled by that.
So the reason was this black over here, it was stuck on this area, which we could not see because of the lamp hiding it.
Okay.
And that is the reason Preeti chose to go conservative. These guys, they are fully aware of the situation. And that context awareness is very, very important. So if you prematurely go for the finish and you miss, the opponent can run away with the whole board and punish you for making those choices. And here is the best opportunity for Preeti
This is
to
good defense.
open this cluster. Now is the time. And now she's going for the shot you are referring to. The press connect. And one
What
more.
a shot.
One more of
What
that.
a shot by Preeti Jakotia. And there you have it, folks. It's a 5-point board. Preeti now marches on to 22. And what a tremendous comeback. 24 for Khazima, 22 for Preeti Jakotia. What a game on hand, Bala.
Unbelievable, unbelievable. We could not have asked for anything more dramatic than this. Once again, folks, we are watching the first set of the women's semifinals number 1 of the 6th Carrom World Cup, happening live at the San Francisco Bay Area, California, at the beautiful Malavalli Auditorium of the India Community Center.
I must say I've been very impressed by the location. There is some discussion there.
There's some discussion, yes. I believe they are unclear on whether it is an 8-board game or full game to 25.
Second white slam of the game by Mohammad Ali.
There is
Board number 58.
I think it's the discussion is, I think you are right.
it is about, normally we play for 8 boards max.
Mohammad Ali.
She got the red, and every time she got the red, I think it's correct. I've been confirming. No, it's 22. 24. I've checked my scores. He'll do it. Let him decide. Yeah, she got 7.
confusion? What is that? No, no, full game. That was not the confusion. The confusion was on the score. Khazima was wondering whether it was 22 or 21 or something.
Acha, acha.
Okay, doctor, that was interesting. So it looks like the confusion was about the scoreboard on whether it is exactly 22 and 24 or 21 and 24. You know, the queen has value only until 21. And of course, the score we are displaying on the scoreboard is, it turned out to be the right score. So they will continue now. There is no confusion about whether it is a full game to 25 or a game to only 8 boards maximum. Discussing the accuracy of the score.
My one question to you, Bala, is when moments like these occur, which interrupts and there are breaks, top players have to bring their focus back immediately. You don't really have much of a time, and that is where uh, great players and legends and champions suddenly the switch is off and they suddenly turn it on.
That is correct, doctor. You know, these kind of unplanned interruptions during the game can affect a player both physically and mentally. Physically, you are in your flow, you are in your zone, you've been playing for a while, you're warmed up, and suddenly these kind of things can throw you off your rhythm. And mentally, it breaks your concentration and focus.
Correct.
The intensity with which you've been focusing on, that can go a little off track.
Now, looking at Preeti versus Kazima, Kazima is a very young person. Preeti seasoned in terms of the number of years she has played. Kazima may have played more matches perhaps because of the experience that she has been gaining over the last few years with Maria and her local tournaments, etc. But remember, Preeti is a very seasoned player. She's played in India tournaments many years. She's played with your Baka tournaments, US Nationals, part of the US Carrom Association for so many years. As that discussion still continues while getting the replays, Bala and I are discussing about this important comeback moment where you just turn the switch on and it became off and now you turn it on. You cannot put a dimmer there. Either it is on or off, because if you put a dimmer, sometimes the opponent might turn it on all the way and you lose.
That's right.
So I think it's important that Kazima get herself back in position, because judging by Kazima's body language, she seems quite perturbed at the moment, and Preeti seems more relaxed from our vantage point. They are looking at the replays to ensure that the score indeed is Khazima 24 and Preeti 22. Remember, the number of boards are not relevant because this is a full match. We have confirmed that, and as soon as the live action returns, we will come back to you. Looks like it's been resolved, and Preeti getting ready, sprinkling some boric acid and getting ready for her break. The all-important break for Preeti Chakotia if she were to launch herself into the women's finals of the 6th Carrom World Cup here in the Bay Area of California. And is Preeti's break.
She is known for powerful breaks. And commentator's jinx. Okay. They both pocket each other's coins in their first turn. A nice attempt.
and doesn't hurt because it's a defense. And Khazima does not like it, so she just puts it back.
And that is exactly what I was talking about, Doctor. It's really important for these players to clear these two pathways to the two top pockets. And the best time to ensure they are clear is in your very first turn. This is the rule number one taught by all the top coaches in Carrom. And both of these fine players have legendary coaches. Khazima is coached by none other than Mr. Maria Iridem, Arjuna Award winner and multiple time world champion back in the day. And Preeti is being coached by none other than Mr. Yogesh Pardesi, a hat-trick world champion who's still actively competing in India. Even though he's not part of the Indian national team, he's
And
still very much actively playing these days, and he has been grooming Preeti for just this very moment.
And in the US Open, he had a white slam as well, Yogesh Pardesi.
And there we go. Let's see. As of now, the position is a tad bit in favor of Preeti. And what Kazima was attempting was a slip and slide. You know, you hit the striker on one coin and you split both coins, one on the left and one on the right.
I would tend to agree with you, Bala. At the moment, things are relatively somewhat straightforward. Putting the striker here and possibly taking this one would be a reasonable next move, which will allow this to be opened up for the next shot. And Preeti methodically, she has one idea coin here too, if she needs to use that. Taking her time, Preeti.
Oh, that would be an expensive miss on the cover. So, you know, Doctor, in these situations, you never take a chance on the queen. She could have easily gone for that cover, ensuring that she
Uh,
takes it.
I agree with you 100%. Secure the red. Although at this moment, with the score being 22-24, the value of queen does not come into the score, but still, it gives you that momentum.
Correct, excellent. And it puts Kazima under pressure. You know, with this coin stuck on Preeti's base, Preeti can go all out. If you take the
Yeah.
queen, then you force Kazima into a corner, and she lost that opportunity to make that happen. And one more miss.
Well, when I was thinking she would take this, the idea coin, release this, and curtains. But nope, it is going to continue. So both of them have had their opportunities. Preeti more so than Kazima on this particular board. And now a double touch shot over here. No, she's playing
no,
defense.
No, she won't take any chances at the moment because Kazima is just 1 point away. You know, Kazima can be relatively less under pressure because she has ensured that there will be at least one more board, even if Preeti wins the board.
And that is her break.
That's correct.
So now she's just waiting if.
A
Oh, lovely
beautiful,
shot.
beautiful double by
Uh,
Preeti. Now she has to glance and go for this. Otherwise, she won't get another chance. This is the best chance. That's okay. Even if she misses, that's fine. Because she has.
Will Kazima takes this, and will she take
That was the
a
red.
double shot, or she'll just take? She is going for two
She is going for two
for
in
the
one.
price of.
Oh, and a big miss.
When you go for two for the price of one, you get neither.
Sometimes, you know, it's a high risk, high reward play.
Yeah.
And as we were talking about it earlier, Doctor, even if Preeti wins from this moment, the score can only become 24 all. So it is a low risk, high reward option for Kazima, where if it works out,
Well, now at
And-
least she's released. This one is still a bit of a
Still a
difficult point for
difficult-
Khazima. And
one more blown opportunity on Preeti's part.
Preeti has had opportunities on this board, no question about it. And now with this shot,
Oh my God.
you can see that even great players can pressure can get to you. And you were asking me earlier, this kind of shot. Apologies for that. If this kind of shot was in the beginning of the board, she would take it with no problem.
Oh, look at
It is the
that.
timing.
Doctor,
And
did you just see that?
yes.
Another very uncharacteristic miss. Oh,
And there
this
are
is unbelievable.
lots of misses that we are seeing here. And
Neither player, whoever is going to lose this match, they are not going to forgive themselves for a very long time.
is she going to do something with the white to make it? Oh no, just take it.
She doesn't want to lose the opportunity.
Preeti, you can have your 1 point, but
Okay,
well, it's now
there we
23, 24, and it is going to be Khazima's break.
Doctor, that's the beauty of this game. It's not just about, it's fun to watch someone pocketing everything one after the other without a single miss. But these are the moments that remind us that even these guys are human, even though they are much better carom players. The human problems that we all suffer from affect them as well. And that's what brings all these fans to the screens.
Stress, anxiety, pressure, all these are very relevant. And if it was relevant in any particular board, it was the most recent board that we saw, where there were multiple misses.
And it's Kazima's break. The board number doesn't matter, although it is the 10th board.
And the other thing, Bala, if your opponent misses, if you capitalize, you win that board. But here, both of them kept on missing. Here, as we go to Kazima's break, going for the rebound, successfully done. She gets that coin. Does she have enough room here to and Preeti will want to clear that particular pocket, and there is an opening now for her.
A nice pull.
And she's going to try to get it here and pull it back, but see the power of that stroke, right?
So the right shot to play when a coin is here and you want to defend it would be to hit it here, here, and bring it here, and send the striker here to open the cluster.
Correct.
I'm not sure if that's what she was going for, but did not quite succeed in turning the board and the position of the board in her favor. It is still anybody's board, and both players are trying to play that chess game here. And one more mistake, you see this, in this case Preeti should have gotten the coin either here or here, but it comes just at the place where it's not easy.
Correct. A lot of the games are lost or won in this middle part, and Preeti now takes the home shot. She has this open here. Might nudge. No, she's not going to touch.
Many would say that these home shots that are easy, that you should keep them around for a rainy day. And we often see Preeti more focused on reducing the coins than focusing a little bit more on the position.
There was a aggressive rebound or a shot that Preeti attempted. Same shot with a softer touch would have ended the coin
Doctor,
somewhere in this zone.
Was a miss. This is still very much the board is in Kazima's position.
Good shot by Preeti there. Khazima has a rebound, and 24-23. What a match this has been between Khazima of India and Preeti Jakotia of the United States. As that was a good defensive slash offensive stroke by Preeti. Well done, removing that black. And here you will see all sorts of strategies being employed. Now, oh, what a lovely shot. A cut and pull by Preeti Jakotia. Goodness, a wonderful shot. And here she has a potential finish. And she gets the queen. And the home shot for Preeti Jakotia. And Preeti Jakotia will make it to the finals of the 6th Carrom World Cup. What a comeback by Preeti Jakotia, as she has beat Khazima of India. And this has been a tremendous match for Preeti Jakotia. And what a display of talent, nerves, and defense. And this has been really tremendous match, really. I was under the impression, since I got here a little late, but there is some discussion happening at the moment. They are there was a great finish by Preeti Jakotia, and my apologies for that excitement that I generated about the final result. In the midst of some of this confusion, we are now into the second set. So the first set goes to Preeti Jakotia. Preeti leads 1-0. Prematurely, I gave the match to Preeti. My apologies to Khazima. My apologies to all the viewers as well at this juncture, as Preeti and Khazima are getting set for the second set of this semi-finals here in the 6th Carrom World Cup. This is a best of 3. Best of 3, winning the first set. The crowd is gathering here at the ICC in Milpitas, California, at the 6th Carrom World Cup. Both players at the moment are getting set for it's Preeti's break. She has just cleared the frame to remove any boric acid, and now we will soon see the resumption of their match. Okay, folks, we are back in the com box. Semi-finals, Preeti Jakotia and Khazima of India. A very exciting first set with Preeti making a tremendous comeback. Khazima Mahabuba Basha from India, as Bala was telling us, being coached by none other than the Arjuna Award winner Maria Irudayam, who is in the audience watching her pupil play. On the right side of your screen is Khazima donning a blue India shirt. Khazima thinking her next move. You see how nicely she took the black and just nudged this enough to make it a shot. That's what great carom players do. Now she's eyeing whether she has an opening here or not, and plays a simple shot to bring her black in, but Preeti also intelligently removes that as well. It's almost always two for the price of one. So now Preeti cut and pull, so that makes the white easier, but she misses the white. And now Khazima, can she make the run? Takes the first one confidently. Now the home shot. You can see between strokes the time Khazima takes. It's even. Her flow, her rhythm. Just focus next time when we see the next board that between strokes Khazima evens things out. And you can see here, first shot, picks up the striker, takes her time. Second shot, picks up the striker with a roll with her fingers, and you can see that the break with one white in. Nicely done so far. Clears her home shot. And ran into some traffic. Now Preeti gets her turn. But what she did was a very intelligent move to create a block for Khazima's white coin. So nothing that you see is simple at this level. The thinking is at a much higher level, and Khazima is just going to remove that black, use it as a defensive. So basically she used the black as a striker to bring it back. Lovely shot by Preeti Chakotia. And you can see after every stroke how Preeti will pick up the striker, picks the striker up, and then sets herself up. Takes her time. Yogesh Pardeshi always says you have 15 seconds to play between strokes. Try and use that time. What is the rush? 15 seconds is a long time between strokes. So now going for that lovely shot, and this will be a tremendous finish for Khazima with a 7-point advantage. So with 7 points, Khazima now goes on to 12. Khazima moves on to 12. So it's 12-0 at the moment in favor of Khazima. I must say I have been very impressed by all the youth from India, particularly in the women's section. The group that has been trained by Maria Rudayam, there was a camp in Delhi for about a week before they flew to the United States, and that is where a lot of the training has happened. Preeti now getting set, clearing the borders with a brush. As the crowd here at the ICC continues to slowly grow, there's another important match in the men's going on between Aditya and K. Srinivas, and
But thank you.
as and when we get the score update, I will be sharing that with you. Aditya yesterday, of course, played Linus Paul. As we come back to this match between Preeti and Khazima. Srinivas beat Aditya in the first set 25-21. The second set, Srinivas leading 17-9. Khazima has a cluster of 4 black coins here, which she'll have to maneuver, and that stops short of the pocket. Now Preeti has her 2. This is a cut she can play, which just stops ricochets off the border. That's a good shot. by Khazima. And now she's going to try to cut. Bring it. Brings it home, and Khazima is going to go for a defense. And look at how nicely she was able to defend in her base. A proper defense. And now Khazima will have to, she's going for the first shot, the second black, that drops in. And now, does she play defense, or does she does, but that's not enough. As Preeti wins this board, and we are just checking the score. We're just checking the score of the previous board to ensure. Atul Bhave, the referee, is going to just check on the video to confirm. As soon as they confirm, we will be right back for the commentary.
Now I'm writing over here also. Just announce it. Okay. कौन सा? कौन सा? And then Preeti 7, Khazima 5. Correct. Okay. Now 2, right? दो बोर्ड तो हुआ है. हाँ तो अभी दो मिला ना. हाँ 2 मिल डाल दिया ना. 9-5 should be 9-5 और 9-5 प्रेशर. सही में यार मैंने सही बोला था आपने 5 बोला.
Can you guys both see this? Two boards up. 9 to Preeti, 5 to Khazima. Are you okay with this? Hold on. Now you can help me. Okay.
Three boards, right? That's a 4th board.
We are back in the commentary here after the scores have been reset. That's the advantage of DRS, to ensure that no mistakes are made or mistakes are minimized if at all made. And 9-5 in favor of Preeti. This is the fourth board. So this is the fourth board. Again, the number of boards are not relevant because this is a full match. As Preeti now is trying to finish as many blacks. Just to give you a breakdown, the first board Khazima got 5, and the next two boards Preeti got for a her total of 9, which is how the score is 9-5 in favor of Preeti after 3 boards. So apologies for any of the mistakes or the confusion about the scoring, but this is correct. 9-5, fourth board. Here we are. It's the routine that Carrom players have, like on any sport. If you have a golf swing, you have certain characteristics. If you are playing cricket, the way you hold your bat, the way you do things, as Khazima now trying to figure out how she will be taking that, but she prefers to just make it simple for her next shot by making these two blacks difficult, leaving her white alone. And now what Preeti tried was a shot to perhaps disturb this bunch here. Now she will have to do something about the white while trying to get one of her blacks. It's a difficult situation, but she does not get her black in, but has moved the white away, but not enough, as Khazima successfully grabs that board. And this is the second set. The first set went to Preeti when Preeti made a comeback, a tremendous comeback, mind you, and the momentum at that point clearly shifted. Khazima Mehboob Basha is clearing the frame right now as Preeti is setting up her break. And a quick replay, and see how she was able to defend that on that replay. We sometimes don't get enough time between breaks, as players sometimes, particularly the ones who are on the go all the time, do not give enough time to J&J in the production team. They don't know that I'm calling them J&J, but now their new name is J&J. I'm of course referring to Jared and Josh here, sitting next to us, helping us in the commentary box, doing some yeoman work with intermittent smiles. As we are back on the carrom board, Khazima was in the first year of her college, doing her Bachelor of Arts in the city of Chennai from Tamil Nadu. Her father, Mehboob Basha, he is her coach, along with, of course, Maria Irudem, who was helping all the ladies in the camp. Khazima, of course, has bagged the scholarship also from the Petroleum Sports Promotion Board, and that certainly helps the family financially. She practices 8 to 10 hours a day, folks. Kazima practices 8 to 10 hours a day. So, folks, at a young age, while doing her first year of college, while studying her Bachelor of Arts, she's also practicing for 8 to 10 hours a day. Imagine. And for those who do not know, Kazima's brother has also been a junior national champion of India. As Kazima now, with her black coins, is going to start reducing one by one. She is probably not going to touch this for now because it is blocking this white coin of Preeti. But she was trying to take the black and push the white in to make room for the next shot. But that did not quite happen. Preeti wants to open this so that she can take it. No, second thoughts. Nicely done there. Now Khazima has this open. Oh, that's a rare miss by Khazima. As Bala was saying earlier, we are all human, and these kinds of errors can happen from time to time. And just a gentle release to make room for the queen. A cut and release. She was able to bring the white here, but the red stayed there. So now this is a difficult white for Preeti. Even if she takes the queen, she has to ensure that she has a easy cover. So she just wants to keep her white open for the next shot, but Khazima is certainly going to not leave that alone. And that might be an open lane for Preeti. And it is. And now the cover. And she misses that cover. The key right now for Khazima would be to reduce the number of coins she has on the board. And then now she's going for that black cut that just sits by the pocket. And now Preeti playing defense, getting the red in her home base. And nice shot by Khazima. And that's a home shot miss. Is there room to take this and release this? Because there's not enough room for a rebound. So the option would be a double touch. Let's see what Preeti does. Oh, that was rare. She completely missed that. And and she hits it rather powerfully, and the queen comes back in the center, and Preeti is probably going to pull the queen back in her base confidently, and we refer to this as the cat and the mouse game. J&J told me they would prefer Ben and Jerry. Not Ben and Jerry, Tom and Jerry. So there we are, an interestingly poised situation, and she'll probably ensure that the black is not that easy. That was a bit surprising. Now for Khazima, this would be 4 points. 4 points to Khazima, as Khazima now will move on to 11. Khazima will be 11, and Preeti will remain at 9. So Preeti at 9, Khazima 11. As I said earlier, the number of boards do not matter at the moment, and we are marching on. In the previous match, Aditya ended up losing to K. Srinivas. So Aditya will end up playing for a third place position later on. Sandeep Dive and Aditya will be fighting for the third position, and the finals will be between Srinivas and Mohammad Arif. So K. Srinivas and Arif will battle it out for the finals. We have some dignitaries here who have come to the stage. We don't have a camera on them because we are focusing on the game at the moment. Khazima has Khazima continuing her string of white coins methodically, and this is a turning shot that she's attempting, but more importantly, bring the black here, and you get to make a little difficult. So now, as we were saying early on, they want open pockets. So that is exactly what Preeti did. So now Khazima continues to, she has this pair, but again, see how difficult that she is continuing to make Preeti's coin. So it is not just about pocketing your coin. See how she brought this back. All these small little touches that can, at the end of the match, can prove to be a match winner, match-winning shots. So now Preeti does have the queen in her base, but she has to pocket one black first. You cannot take your queen before you pocket at least one coin. And that was a good shot for the queen and the cover. Relatively straightforward. Now some people will say this is an advantage for this coin here. If she were to uh, pocket this first one, Khazima I meant, and nice defense by Preeti. Going to go for this rebound, and this cut shot by Khazima. Debating. I think she's going to go for trying to take advantage of that particular white that was sitting there. She has, as Yogesh Pardeshi calls, an insurance coin. And now, can she cut this here and bring this quickly with? No, that didn't happen. So the queen has been covered by Preeti, and this nice rebound by Khazima, and she finishes and gets 2 points. So Khazima now at 13 and Preeti at 9. So the number of boards, as I mentioned earlier, is not relevant at this level, at this juncture of the tournament. And the first set ended up going to Preeti. And you can see the replay here, quick replay, how nicely they move the coins, not just taking simple, as Preeti is now getting set up for her break. The score is 13-9 in favor of Khazima. Preeti, having won the first set, came roaring back actually in the first set. It was a very interesting first set, and judging by the reaction, I said that she won the semi-finals. And my apologies to all the listeners for that. But here we are. Preeti now on a roll as the president of the US Carrom Association. Bala Parthasarthi rejoins me. Bala, we had some celebrities in the house?
Oh yes, doctor. I just had to go and receive representatives from the office of Congressman Ro Khanna. Him and his office have been extremely supportive of our ability to conduct the tournament here. You know, this being a global event, and given the fact that the majority of the Carrom playing countries are in the Eastern Hemisphere, getting the US visa is one of the most challenging issues they faced. And we were not hopeful that we will get participation from even 10 countries a few months ago. And thanks to the support from the offices of Congressman Ro Khanna, as well as the ambassadors of various countries, we have record high participation with 18 different countries that are participating here in the 6th Carrom World Cup. And we would like to extend our deepest gratitude to them. Without their support, we would not be having this kind of a successful event.
You're absolutely right. I mean, support from folks here at the ICC, from the city of Milpitas, Rohan Khanna, as you said, and his office staff. All these has to come together, and you being, while we are continuing to watch, I do want to pick your brain about the preparation that actually went into the World Cup. Bala, I know you don't want to talk about it, but I'm going to put you. I want people to know that putting a World Cup with 18 countries is no easy task. And just as we continue to watch this run by Khazima, please share with us some of the moments that were key for you, starting with your call with Joseph Mayer and VD Narayan and all the important folks at the ICF.
That's right. First of all, hosting the Carrom World Cup is a matter of great honor and privilege to us, and we consider ourselves extremely lucky that we got this chance. And on behalf of the United States Carrom Association, I would like to extend my thanks to Mr. Joseph Mayer, President of the International Carrom Federation, Mr. V.D. Narayan, Secretary General of the International Carrom Federation, and the entire Executive Committee of ICF for trusting us with this great, great responsibility. Hosting the Carrom World Cup is no joke. The Carrom World Cup is the biggest event in the field of Carrom. It is held every 4 years, just like the Olympics, all around the world. And ICF typically partners with Carrom federations from various nations to host this prestigious tournament across the globe. Our mission, whether it is ICF or a country federation such as USCA, our joint mission is to promote the game of Carrom worldwide. And big events like the World Cup act as the platform to showcase what our game has to offer to the outside world. And but as prestigious as it is, and as tempting as it is to say yes to hosting an event like this, we were also acutely aware of the challenge involved in making it successful. There were
What
several
were
of them involved. Hosting the Carrom World Cup as it is, this is not a local tournament that gets finished in one day. As it is a complex event. It lasts for a whole week. You're talking about bringing over close to 200 people, providing them boarding and lodging for a whole week, transporting them between the airport and the hotel and the tournament venue, and there's lots of preparations logistically to take care of. And as it is, even if every participant is local, this would be a monumental challenge on a logistical perspective. But on top of that, given that we have players all over the world, and there are some specific challenges involved with hosting a Carrom event like this. And I would just like to highlight three of them to keep it short. Number one, we cannot have a World Cup without world-class players. All these players are from top Carrom playing nations like India, Sri Lanka, Maldives, Bangladesh, and places like that. And it's very hard for them to A, obtain a visa successfully to come to the US, B, secure enough funding from their local sponsors and offices and employers to be able to travel here. It's not cheap to come here. And that would directly affect how successful this event is. You cannot have a world-class tournament without world-class players. That's number one. Number two, even getting the equipment here on time is a struggle. All these Carrom boards that you are seeing here are made exclusively by Cinco, our equipment partner and sponsor, who are headquartered in India, in Mumbai. And we work with them on designing these boards and providing our requirements many months in advance of the event. But despite their best efforts and all of our efforts to get it done on time, these boards were shipped to us months ago, back in July. And even if the ship leaves the port of Mumbai in July, there is no guarantee that that ship will reach the port of Los Angeles, and so that we can get all the boards here on time for the day one of the tournament. It's never done until it's here in person, and we have seen that delivery estimate vary greatly, and we were extremely happy that Cinco has been an amazing partner in this journey. They not only sponsored the boards but also worked with us on designing these custom-made special edition World Cup special edition boards for this event. And we have been receiving wonderful feedback from all the players who have been playing on them. And some of the verbatim quotes that I can say are, they are saying that these are some of the best boards they've ever played on. So, and we are very happy that we got to use them in this tournament, and the fact that they reached us on time. And last but not the least, it just costs a lot of money to host an event of this magnitude. And everybody knows Carrom as an emerging sport does not yet have enough money in it. So most of this funding needed to host an event like this has to come from corporate sponsorships as well as private donations. And on that note, I personally want to thank every one of our sponsors, and starting with Cinco, our equipment sponsor, and Core Hive, And we have Trinamics, and we have Carrom Central, Agilicis, Verizon, Cell Revolution, Sunray, PNG Jewelers, State Bank of India, California, and the list goes on. And I want to personally and on behalf of the entire US Carrom community thank every single one of our sponsors, as well as all of our private patrons who purely wanted to support, open their wallets generously to help us and our cause so that we can bring this marquee event to the US soil and showcase the best of what Carrom can offer to everybody here. You know, our mission at USCA is to promote the game of Carrom in the US, and there is no better way to do that than to bring an event like the World Cup to the US. So I'll end it there, and you need to get me off of my soapbox and get me back to talk about the game here. It seemed to be that in the brief 20 minutes or so that I was out of the commentary box, there is enough drama that has unfolded with the first game going to Preeti. Khazima seems to have a resounding lead of 20-10 in set number 2.
Yeah, Bala, you covered a lot of the angles about the preparation for the World Cup. But when this is all said and done, um, Bala Parthasarthi will be a very proud man for what he has achieved with his team. And I certainly want to congratulate you here in person and on the air to tell everybody who is watching, listening, that this has been a magnificent effort on your part and your team. And I've seen your team run around and make things happen. Things, uh, a tournament of this magnitude, small glitches are likely to happen. But when you look at the big picture, how wonderfully you have covered the opening ceremony as well as the tournaments and everything else. Really, congratulations to you, Bala, for putting this up and making this happen. So we are now finally back to the game.
Thank
But
you, Doctor,
Bala,
for saying that. I just want to respond to that briefly. I accept the thanks, but it goes to everybody on the organizing team. These guys have been busting it out for the last 9-10 months now, and especially all these things that you're witnessing right now. We are having this event unfold in the Silicon Valley, the technology capital of the world. So we had to put a technology spin on the event, and what you see is a direct result of it, not only in terms of broadcasting and getting such great events into the living rooms of so many people around the world, but we also wanted to make the lives of players and organizers easy as well by making everything available at the touch of a button on the palm of your hand on your mobile phone. So as we speak, every single board, what the score is, and who's leading, etc., is all available on every fan, every player's phone, and hopefully this sets a good precedence for leveraging technology to catapult Carrom to the next level. And now we can get back to the board.
yeah, it's a 2010 lead for Khazima. And at the moment, Preeti will have to figure out to finish this. We are back here live 6th Carrom World Cup, and it's a missed cut by Preeti Jakotia, and Khazima now playing this head cut, beautifully done, and if she makes this, she gets 5 points. Oh, that's a surprise. And the degree with which the coin rolled back tells you the amount of pressure on that stroke. So now Khazima has to take the queen, but it ricochets off the border. An opportunity for Preeti Jakotia now. Can she capitalize with this rebound and then the cut? There was a moment where Khazima could have finished this set a moment ago, and there was a good shot, as you just saw, by Preeti, and misses the finishing coin. The last coin is the money coin. And now Khazima just playing it safe, bringing it to her base because she knows that Preeti has an easy cover and finishing. So she brought it here purposely because she knows that this pocket is blocked. So only pockets open are either this or here. So she again brings it back defensively, and
After 9 votes, score 24 and 10.
welcome back. It's my pleasure to welcome Mr. Rakesh Adalaka, the Deputy Consul General of India in San Francisco. Rakesh bhai, a warm welcome to the 6th Carrom World Cup. And how have you been here a few minutes? How does everything look to you at the moment?
Thank you very much for your kind words. It's really fantastic for me to be here because I personally have some interest in playing carom. I'm not a great player, but just an amateur player. But the atmosphere is fantastic. I watched the men's semi-final and a bit of women's semi-final also. The matches are great. I'm really so happy and privileged to be here and watching the live matches.
Yeah, I see, putting together 18 nations coming under one roof for the 6th Carrom World Cup right in your backyard here at the ICC. I think it took a yeoman effort on everybody's part, organizing committee, your help, the help of the sponsors, and everything has come together so beautifully. And you are seeing the cream. You are seeing the best of the best. We are watching live this semi-final match between Preeti Jakotia of the Bay Area. She is a local resident. Her opponent is Khazima Mehboob Basha. Khazima is from Chennai. She is a first-year college student in the Bachelor of Arts, and she is the Federation Cup winner in India and currently India number 3. And this young woman practices 8 to 10 hours a day.
Wow.
And to rise to this level, Rakesh bhai, it's no easy task. And as you can imagine, in India, competing at this level is huge. Preeti Jakotia, of course, in the US, a celebrated carom player amongst the women in the US. She is by far the best carom player and has beaten many very good men
Absolutely.
players also.
Absolutely. No, I watched the first set, the final game, game where the scores were so close. I think it was 24-22 before it was won by Preeti. The match is fantastic, and I really want to take this opportunity to compliment the organizers for putting up this huge effort in bringing all the teams. India, of course, we are happy to see that the Indian team is playing here. All the Indian players were in men's semi-final and in women's semi-final also. They are doing well. So all in all, I'm very happy to be here, and the match which is going on is pretty good. Very close fight. So we are in for a good treat.
What I would like you to do before you leave the ICC from here is at least meet two folks. I want you to meet the Sunil Gavaskar of Carrom,
Okay.
and I want you to meet the Sachin Tendulkar of Carrom.
My pleasure.
And their names are Maria Irudayam. Maria Irudayam is the Arjuna Award winner in the
Okay.
sport of Carrom. He's amongst us,
Right.
and he has come here as the coach of the Indian team. And Khazima, who we are seeing on the screen right now, is coached by
Okay.
Maria Irudayam,
Okay.
the Arjuna Award winner. And the other name, the other person that I also want you to meet is a gentleman by the name Yogesh Pardesi.
Okay.
Yogesh Pardesi is a 3-time world champion in Carrom.
Oh.
And Yogesh is brilliant, of course, in the world of Carrom. But other than that, both of these, Maria and Yogesh, are just wonderful human beings. And please do not leave without you
No, I will
meeting
I'll
them.
meet them.
And,
It's my honor to meet the Arjuna Award winner of Carrom and the other gentleman, Mr.
I would-
Yogesh, you said.
I would
Thank
love
you.
for the ICC to have a photograph of our Deputy Consul General here, along with Bala, you,
No.
and of course,
I also want to thank the ICC for giving this venue for this wonderful initiative. I mean, ICC has been doing wonderful work in promoting Indian culture, Indian sports, Indian arts. We have been partnering with them for many events, and we have an event coming up this Friday. So we are happy to be here. Thank you.
right now there is a break in the action as they are one set each. Talking about the match between Preeti Jakotia and Khazima Mehboob Basha. Khazima, of course, from Chennai, and Preeti, local San Francisco resident, playing in this semi-finals here at the 6th Carrom World Cup. We will take a short break and we'll come back. But I want to take this opportunity to thank Rakesh bhai to come here to the ICC and share a few words and encouragement for the organizers and the players. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. My best wishes to all the players. Thank you.
So Bala, that was a nice chat with Mr. Rakesh Adulaka, the Deputy Consul General here in San Francisco.
That's right. Given that he's a Carrom fan himself, and given that Team India is dominating so much in the sport of Carrom, he really wanted to come and watch some of the games. We are glad that he was able to stop by, and we are even happier that he was able to join us in the commentary box for a brief while.
I was just commenting earlier, between strokes, you watch both the players, how they pick up the striker, take a few moments, put their thoughts together, put the striker back, and then hit their next shot. So there is that repetition that they do. It's not like they rush into any particular shots, and that is something that where the coach is somebody like Abala Parthasarthi, for example, can recommend or advise or suggest players who want to become good Carrom players, develop a rhythm. And Yogesh Pardesi always says you have 15 seconds. Try and use as many as you can out of those 15 seconds. But develop a rhythm that is consistent. What is your thought on that?
Yeah, absolutely right. I'm suffering from this problem myself. What you refer to as the rhythm, I like to call it as a system. Every one of us who want to be Carrom players or want to improve our game need to develop our own system that is reliable. Other way of thinking at it is, instead of being on autopilot, we want to be able to understand how it works. So it doesn't mean that you don't use autopilot at all, right? When you are in the game, you want to be in the flow and use as much of your muscle memory as possible. But in high stakes, high pressure situations, when muscle memory forsakes us, can we still keep the flight still flying instead of crashing it? Right? Turbulence is inevitable when you're flying a plane, but that doesn't mean that you should not know how to fly the plane. Autopilot is there. You can use it 95% of the time, but for those 5%, when it's not smooth sailing, can you rely back on your system? That's what it comes down to.
That is so true. And trying to even identify that the storm is coming, if you can get your bearings right in time to weather that storm, like you mentioned, because on every board, every stroke, every game situation, you're going to encounter that. And we have seen in not this, the previous one, where some of those easy coins were missed both by Khazima and Preeti both from time to time.
That's right. Even Air India and United Airlines, they lose our bags sometimes.
I'm flying Air India in January. So
All right, you better fix your system before then. Let's get back to the board.
the first board of the third set. As you can see, one set each. First set won by Preeti, second set Khazima won, and now this is all what the champions are made of. Third and final set.
Perfect control.
So first board in favor of Khazima. Khazima is a first-year college student studying Bachelor of Arts, and her father, Mehboob Basha, has been a coach for not only Khazima but also Khazima's brother, who is a junior national champion. Khazima, of course, India number 3 and the Federation Cup winner from India. So her resume is a very powerful one, and we can see that being displayed on the board in this fight against Preeti Jakotia.
And you know, Doctor, as stellar as her resume is, not many people realize that she almost did not make it to this tournament. Her US visa got rejected twice, and she finally got it approved on the third try. She had to go through a lot of trouble, and a lot of people had to pull some strings to finally make it happen. And when I was chatting with her earlier, she expressed how depressed she was after she got denied the visa for the second time, and how elated and relieved she was after it finally got approved the third time, and ultimately how it all translated into her determination and resolution to go all the way and clinch the trophy this time. So she has a lot riding on this particular game. This is the semifinals. It's the third set. It cannot get any more high stakes than this for Khazima. What about Preeti?
Preeti, she did not have to encounter any visa issues. She just had to navigate the traffic of San Francisco. So that was a lot easier challenge for her to overcome. But Preeti, of course, we have known her. She's a local favorite, not only in California, but all over the US. Always smiling, meeting people, and on the board, she has been an absolute delight to watch.
That is correct, Dr. Mehta. It is impressive enough that she has made it this far in this star-studded playing field. But what I'm truly amazed by is her grit. This is a battle of the nerves, and Preeti is showing a fair amount of nerve control and confidence, which is not easy when you are sitting across the board from a player like Khazima.
Yeah, I remember Bala had put together a podcast called Carrom Connect when we spoke with Preeti and the other ladies representing the US national team here at the 6th Carrom World Cup. And Preeti's determination in that particular podcast was very apparent. And she says, I really want it. I'm really hungry for a big title right in my backyard.
That's right. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity for Preeti. As cliche as it may sound, it's true. She's definitely going to get plenty of chances to represent Team USA at the World Cup, but the chances of doing so in the US soil and within 10 miles of your living room, that's extremely, extremely unlikely. And she is fully aware of it, and she does not want to let this opportunity slip by.
What a shot. What a cut and pull by Khazima there. Very well done.
Brilliant,
It
brilliant.
was a great finish.
Finish.
If we can quickly see the replay, that would be awesome by Khazima. And
It was wonderful, so we can see a clear step up in her, I would say, not just the body language, but the shot selection and the extra ounce of energy that we can see in the last stroke. Look at that. Just that final cut and release was phenomenal. Watch this. Brilliant.
And there you have it. You saw the replay of that finish as we now move on to board number 3 where Khazima leads 10-0. 10-0. Kazima's lead.
And you do not want to be looking at a scoreboard like that against a player like Khazima. Preeti really, really needs to win this board regardless of whether she scores 1 point or 10 points in this board.
And
She
we can see from our vantage point, Kazima's coach, the Arjuna Award winner Maria Rudhyam, intently looking at the match between Khazima and Preeti. And of course, Preeti's coach Yogesh Pardesi is in the house as well. So both these women are really blessed to have their coaches be present right here to guide them. And I'm sure they both must have had a word with their respective coaches during the break after one set each.
Absolutely. And I wish we could have been flies on the wall in that conversation.
After I had my matches where my coach disappeared. Bala, where were you?
Oh, let's get back to the game here. A brilliant.
Sure.
Oh, unfortunately, I think she was going for the queen, and she.
Look at the
Missed it.
control there, Bala, right? That's not an easy cut from where she was, but the way center of the pocket, the coin just dives in rather than having, should I go in, should I not go in? You know, it was like center of the pocket just going in, and that tells you about the confidence
That's right.
of these players.
That's right, doctor. If I can get a little geeky on you, it's all about the law of conservation of momentum. This is something that we would probably be reading about in the 9th or 10th grade physics books. We always talk about how Carrom is fantastic for kids. This is a classic example. Kids, especially, they learn these kind of very complex principles. And here we go.
And one more finish attempt by Khazima. A bit disappointed. And
Not
now Preeti has to navigate through her 5 black coins. Let's see.
There's a glance. And that was pretty good. She was hoping for a bomb. And
So what Bala is referring to is having this right on the base so she can use it. But it didn't quite get there. And now Khazima with the rebound and the finish. And the double due. Double due rare.
that's the risk, doctor. Especially when you have a support coin like that, it makes the coin easy to go in, and so does it makes the striker equally easy to go in.
What could she have done differently in that rebound?
So I would have personally gone with a wider angle, where it's played a little bit more like a punch, as opposed to a simple rebound.
And now Kazima's position has changed completely. And Preeti,
Well, the interesting thing is both players have a bomb, very similar bomb coin,
Yeah.
which they can use to make positions. And Preeti has been practicing these
Those
bomb
bombs?
coins. Yes, it's here we go. Khazima using a different type. When you have bomb coin, there are 10 different ways you can employ that bomb. And these guys, they know all the tricks of the trade, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And right now, it is still, Preeti's, this coin is not the easiest.
does she have an angle? That is the question. Yeah, she has an angle here.
It's not
And-
about the angle. That black coin was stuck to the frame,
Frame.
so it makes it difficult. And she played it wonderfully.
But at one point, this seemed like it was going to be a board that Kazima was going to run away with, and Preeti made a comeback. But in the end, Kazima prevails and has not allowed Preeti to win a single board in the third set so far.
That is amazing. That is total domination at display here. And doctor, in the last shot that we watched, Khazima went for the double and successfully pulled it up. One can argue both ways, whether she was just playing an attacking style of game, which means that regardless of what the position is, I'm just going to go for the finish, come what may, high risk, high reward, or was it because of the fact that the black of Preeti was in a position that was hard to defend? So the chances of her successfully defending the black is less than the chances of her successfully doubling the white. So it's a game of odds. So one can argue both ways. So it's hard to tell. And these guys are masters of hiding their expression. They keep a poker face. So, one of the skills needed for these top Carrom players is to be able to read your opponent, assess their strengths and weaknesses, and try to infer what's going on in their head and what their mood of the day is by reading their body language and the kind of shots they choose. There's a lot more than meets the eye in these high stakes games.
Preeti's break, she continues to pocket these coins. There is this shot she can play next. And then she's now down from 9 coins to 3 coins. Here is the bomb coin. And trying to release a few
So,
things.
Yeah. And looks like it was.
A double due.
An unfortunate one.
Actually, it was just a due. I apologize, not a double due, because it was Kazima's turn now. Had it been a double due, Preeti would have continued her turn.
So maybe it was a foul, which is why the coin she pocketed and the penalty coin came back and she lost her turn. I'm guessing there was a coin touch or some kind of a non-technical foul, which would have costed Preeti not only the turn but also the coin that she pocketed. What a
Good cut.
beautiful play. Look at that defense on the white. And look at the black that she did not move to clear the path for the queen for Preeti. Phenomenal.
And now she'll have to do something about the queen. Oh, that was rather uncharacteristic.
But still, you know, the position is very much in Kazima's favor. Preeti has to really do things like this. A few shots like that not only boost her own confidence. Okay, so that both players have made a few conservative choices, but this one, Khazima, now she has created a decent position. Oh my god, she's going on all full attack. So I would assume if she's an attacking player truly,
You were thinking to glance this one off here, or?
well, I mean, it's a very high stake. So she wouldn't do that unless she had one insurance of Preeti's, which is what she wanted by bringing one coin in her base. She would go for the kill once Preeti does not have at least one difficult coin. So she will try to defend this. And,
Nicely done again by Kazima. And when you are defending, Bala, what you see that this is the general area where you want to bring the coin. So that makes it very difficult for the opponent to capture that.
That's right, Doctor. And Preeti is playing with extreme control. This is the cat and mouse game. All Khazima is waiting for is when will Preeti slip up. And she wants at least one of Preeti's coins to be in a difficult position so she can and there we go.
That's the opportunity Preeti was looking for.
That's the opportunity she was looking for. I think this is Carrom requires an enormous amount of patience from players. You can keep on going like this all day. The first person who loses patience
Right.
pays the price.
And with that, Preeti will open her account. And no, she doesn't. There was a difficult, not a very difficult angle, but
Would have been better to cut it from there perhaps, but then each player to each their own. Khazima punishes her.
punishes her because of that loss. So 15-0. So Khazima leads 15-0 in the third set of this women's semi-final in the 6th Carrom World Cup being held in the San Francisco, San Jose Bay area. We have a sizable crowd here, Bala. Folks watching some exciting matches. And when you see somebody like the Arjuna Award winner in the audience, that is even better. But looking at the screen right now, tell us about where things stand, Bala.
Yeah, it looks like in the other semifinals between Rashmi and Mitra, a lot of people expected Rashmi to just have a clear run throughout. But Mitra won the first set, surprising everybody, and now it's down to the wire there as well.
So Preeti has to create some magic here to come back after trailing 15-0. One thing in Preeti's advantage is there is no limit on the number of boards, so this does not become that relevant anymore.
That is correct. All it shows is Khazima has crossed the halfway point in the marathon, while Preeti is still at the starting line. But it's not over until it's over.
That is so true, and we have seen in the first set how Preeti came back after trailing Kazima.
That's right. And for folks that did not know, we had a near theoretically perfect comeback story unfold last night in the pre-quarterfinals between Linus Paul of Singapore versus Anas Ahmed of Sri Lanka, where they were tied one set each, and in the third set, Anas Ahmed of Sri Lanka was leading 24-0, and Linus Paul pulled off a miraculous comeback to win the match, set and game. And after that, I think everybody else, it was like a wake-up call for all the remaining players still in the race.
And then Linus eventually ended up losing to Aditya of India, who lost today to K. Srinivas, and the finals for the singles has been set up between K. Srinivas and Arif, both top India players.
Let's see what Khazima has. Another big lead coming
That
up. And you can see the little fist pump.
Yes,
You can see that she can feel. She can almost
And
feel the
that's-
trophy.
and that's the end of the match.
Oh, and she wins.
As there was a huge board, and she needed 10 points. She got more than 10, and it's Kazima Mehboob Basha now entering into the finals of the 6th Carrom World Cup Women's event. If we could summarize the game and maybe try and get Kazima to speak to us, that would be awesome if she would be.
That would be amazing. Let me go and
We are doing some highlights for you right now.
okay, and then we'll get her over.
Nani?
Hello everyone. We are here with the newly minted winner of the semifinals number 1 of the women's singles of the 6th Carrom World Cup, Khazima Mehboob Basha. Hello Khazima. How are you?
Fine.
So folks, so I happen to speak Tamil, Khazima's mother tongue. So I'm going to do this interview in Tamil and then I will try to translate her responses back to you. So kindly bear with us as we go back and forth a little bit on that. Khazima, வணக்கம்.
வணக்கம்.
நீங்கள் வந்து இந்த மேட்ச்சை பயங்கர ஹை இன்டென்சிட்டி மேட்ச் இது உங்களுடைய ஃபஸ்ட்டு டைம் இல்லையா வேர்ல்ட் கப்பில் இவ்வளோ பக்கத்தில் வந்திருக்கிறது. ஸோ நீங்கள் இந்த மேட்ச்சுக்கு ப்ரிப்பரேஷன் என்ன பண்ணீங்க அதை பற்றி கொஞ்சம் சொல்ல முடியுமா?
ப்ரிப்பரேஷன்னா ப்ராக்டிஸ் தான் பண்ணேன். நான் நிறைய எஃபெக்ட் போட்டேன். எங்கள் அப்பா சப்போர்ட்டிவ் ஃபுல். எங்கள் அப்பாவும் சப்போர்ட் பண்ணாங்க, மரியா இருதயம் சாரும் சப்போர்ட் பண்ணாங்க, என் கூட இருக்கிறவங்க ரொம்ப சப்போர்ட் பண்ணாங்க நான் வேர்ல்ட் கப் போகணும் அப்படின்றதுக்காக. ஏன்னா எனக்கு வந்து 2 times ரிஜெக்ட் ஆகிடுச்சு விசா ப்ராசஸ். ஸோ அதனால் ரொம்ப 3rd டைம் கிடச்சோன்னே எப்படின்னா ஃபைனலிஸ்ட்டு போயிடணும். ஏன்னா எங்கள் அப்பா கனவு, எங்கள் வீட்டில் இருக்கிறவங்க எல்லா கனவும், என்னுடைய ட்ரீமும் அதுதான் வேர்ல்ட் சாம்பியன் ஆகுறது. ஸோ
Great. So Khazima is telling us, I asked her how did she prepare for this moment, and Khazima mentioned that it was her father's dream to see her be a finalist at the world stage, and she has been looking forward to this moment and she has been practicing very hard and especially spending a lot of time with her coach and Arjuna Award winner Mr. Maria Iridayam, and especially she had to go through a lot of visa challenges. Her visa to come here to the US got rejected twice, so she was finally approved to come here only on her 3rd attempt, and once she finally managed to get the visa, she was more than determined to make it come what may to the finals, and she's extremely happy to have made it this far. So Khazima, நீங்கள் வந்து இந்த பர்டிகுலர் செமிஃபைனல்ஸ் உங்கள் ஆப்போனண்ட் வந்து பிரீத்தி ஜக்கோட்டியா ஃப்ரம் யூஎஸ்ஏன்னு நேற்று நைட்டு தான் தெரியும் குவார்ட்டர் ஃபைனல்ஸ் முடிஞ்சப்புறம். அந்த ஆப்போனண்ட்டை பற்றி நீங்கள் எக்ஸ்ட்ராவாக யோசிப்பீங்களா, இல்லை ஆப்போனண்ட் யாராக இருந்தாலும் பரவாயில்ல நம்ம கேம் ஆடுவோம் அப்படின்னு பார்ப்பீங்களா? இந்த கேமை பற்றி உங்களுக்கு பர்டிகுலராக சொல்ல முடியுமா? உங்கள் ஆப்போனண்ட்டை பற்றி அவங்க எப்படி ஆடினாங்க, உங்களுடைய எக்ஸ்பெக்டேஷன்ஸ் எப்படி இருந்தது, அதை பற்றி கொஞ்சம் சொல்லுங்களேன்.
யாரையும் வந்து கீழே வச்சு ஃபஸ்ட்டு பார்க்கக்கூடாது. ஏன்னா வந்து அவங்களும் வின் பண்ணிட்டு தான் வந்திருக்காங்க, நம்மளும் வின் பண்ணிட்டு தான் வந்திருக்கோம். ஸோ என்னோடய பர்ஃபார்மன்ஸ் கொடுத்தேன். ஃபஸ்ட் கேம் எந்த 24 இருந்துச்சு, அவங்களுக்கு 12 இருந்துச்சு. அவங்க நிறைய ஃபினிஷிங் அடித்து ஃபஸ்ட் கேம் அவங்க வின் பண்ணிட்டாங்க. ஸோ செகண்ட் கேமு லீட் கொடுத்து நான் வின் பண்ணி 3rd கேமு நில்ல வின் பண்ணியிருக்கேன். பர்ஃபார்மன்ஸ் நல்லா கொடுத்து.
Okay, great. So I asked Khazima what did she think of her opponent Preeti Jakotia of USA before the match, and whether she had any specific strategies to fight against Preeti. And Khazima's response was she never ever underestimates any opponent. She always respects everybody for the skill that they possess, and she focuses instead solely on her game, and she has practiced hard for this moment, and she wanted to just play her game and make sure that she takes her opponent seriously and without losing focus on her own style and game. And she mentioned that Preeti played a really good game, and at the end of the day the focus was on her game. Now Khazima, இப்போது ஃபைனல்ஸ்க்கு உங்களுக்கு சீட்டு கன்ஃபர்ம்டு. ரஷ்மி குமாரி கூட ஆட போகிறீங்க. ரஷ்மி குமாரி மல்டிபிள் டைம் வேர்ல்ட் சாம்பியன். ரொம்ப வருஷமாக அவங்க நிறைய எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் இருக்குது அவங்களுக்கு. ஆல்மோஸ்ட் 30 இயர்ஸாக இந்த லெவல் ஆடிட்டுருக்காங்க. அண்ட் ஷீ இஸ் ஆல்சோ த டிஃபெண்டிங் வேர்ல்ட் சாம்பியன். இப்போது நீங்கள் இவ்வளோ தூரம் வந்துட்டீங்க. யூ ஆர் ஒன்லி 1 step க்ளோஸ் டு ஹோல்டிங் த ட்ரோஃபி இன் யோர் ஹேண்ட். இப்போது உங்கள் மைண்டில் என்ன மாதிரி தாட்ஸ் இருக்குது, உங்களுடைய எமோஷன்ஸ் எப்படி இருக்குது, உங்களுடைய ப்ரிப்பரேஷன் ஸ்டேட் ஆஃப் மைண்ட், அதை பற்றி கொஞ்சம் சொல்லுங்கள்.
எமோஷன்னா ஃபைனல் வரைக்கும் வந்ததே ரொம்ப ஹாப்பியாக இருக்குது எனக்கு. என்ன சொல்லணும்னா ரேஷ்மி அக்கா கிட்ட நான் 3 வாட்டி விளையாடிருக்கேன். 3 வாட்டி விளையாடுறதுல 2 times அவங்க வின் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. ஃபெடரேஷன் கப்பில் நான் செமிஃபைனல் வின் பண்ணியிருக்கேன். ஸோ இப்போ ஃபைனல்ஸ் விளையாட போகிறேன். என்னுடைய பர்ஃபார்மன்ஸ் கொடுப்பேன் பெஸ்ட்டாக.
ஓகே. I asked Khazima what are her thoughts and emotions going into the finals, especially as she's going to face the ruling queen of the Carrom world, Rashmi Kumari of India, who has been playing at this level for almost 3 decades, and she is the defending world champion. And Khazima's response was that yes, she is a great player, and they have both met across the board several times before, and they both have defeated each other. So they are no strangers. They understand each other's games. She has a lot of respect for Rashmi, who she almost referred to Rashmi as Rashmi's sister. So it looks like they know each other very well and they understand each other's games very well, and it's going to be one fantastic finals. Khazima, one more time, congratulations on
Thank
making
you.
it to the finals.
Thank
Good luck and thank you.
Thank you.